All right, let's talk about an absolute walk-off home run of a finale for one of the greatest Star Wars properties, in my opinion, Andor. I'm Thomas, and on behalf of Nerd Initiative, let's talk about the last three episodes of Andor. This video will contain spoilers, but I'm going to try to keep it sequential so you can hop off at any moment. Luthen, probably one of the most cold and calculating and do whatever it takes characters we've seen in Star Wars on the Rebel side, played expertly by Stellan Skarsgård. In his last meeting with Lonnie, all the pieces are coming together. The Calkite from Gorman, the Kyber from Jeddah, and then we hear Galen Erso's name perfectly leading into Rogue One. For me, this is such a long-awaited conversation, and the dialogue here was just incredible, which leads to Luthen trying to take his own life. This episode also expertly weaves in flashbacks to Luthen being a part of the Empire and some of the genocide he was forced to create, and where he meets Clea and how their relationship kind of forms. We end the episode with Clea being a perfect protege and pulling the plug on Luthen, and just like he said, there's no crowds, there's no parade celebrating him. He's alone in a room with the white light bathing him. We start the episode with Deidre getting reprimanded by Ben Mendelsohn's Krennic, which absolutely just ties everything together as we see into Rogue One, and this is pretty brutal. It shows that no matter what you do, even if it's in the name of the Empire, there's always somebody above you who's going to try to oppress you and put you down, showing just how miserable it is even to be in the Empire. The rest of the episode is about Andor, Melshi, and K2SO going to save Clea. This episode also shows how a lot of the characters we've been following on the Empire side are being crushed by the weight of their roles and how the Empire basically turns on them when they don't succeed. Episode 3 starts with an incredible action sequence showing Star Wars can do hallway fight scenes as well. They go back to Yavin, and Andor is in trouble for going to save Clea, and he makes a very impassioned speech to the Rebel Alliance Council. I think the speech from Andor is up there as one of his best speeches, talking about everything that Luthen had to sacrifice in the name of rebellion and to get this whole thing going. It was incredible. We see that Vel is also on Yavin, and her conversation with Andor is one of my favorites. The toast they have to all the characters we've met along the way who've sacrificed themselves is just, it's just so well done. Now, we're going to be dipping into heavy spoiler territory, so if you really don't want to know, now's your chance to turn out. But Clea finally allows herself to have a little bit of peace and happiness. We see that no good deed goes unpunished, and as Deidre tried to be the perfect ISB officer, it all falls in her face, and she's back to arguably one of the most miserable places you can be in Star Wars and Arcana 5 in this prison. In the last shots we see of Andor, we see that he's triumphantly going to his ship to go start basically Rogue One, and I think he really jumped up there. He's probably one of my top 3 favorite characters in Star Wars now. And as we know that Andor is about to go on his last mission and sacrifice himself, we are given a little bit of peace seeing that his legacy gets to carry on. For me, it felt like Black Panther Wakanda Forever seeing a young T'Challa. It's like, who knows what they're going to do, but at least their legacy gets to live on in some way. Now, there's so much more I could say about this show. I feel like I barely scratched the surface, but it was just a fantastic ride. It's bittersweet because I love it so much. I'm sad it's ending, and yet it is a perfect ending. So what did you think about Andor as a show, as a finale? Drop it in the comments, and thank you for staying tuned here at Nerd Initiative. All right, aloha.